Good morning, children. Today we will be continuing with our topic rusting. Okay, in this lesson we are learning about the constituents of air. Okay, first we saw nitrogen, then we saw oxygen, then we saw carbon dioxide, and now we are going to see a new topic called rusting. So, what is this rusting? Rusting is nothing but a orangish substance. Okay, orange color substance which will be formed on a iron substance, okay, which will be formed on the iron and iron related substance when this iron is kept in the atmosphere. Okay, that is simple example. Okay, our iron rods, okay, which we want to build, if they are kept in the atmosphere for a long time, you can see an orange color substance, okay, like this. Say this is a chain, they have shown here, this is a chain, okay, iron chain. See, you can see that orange color substance, okay. தமிழ்ல நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம், இது பேரு துரு பிடிக்கிறது, ஓகே, துருன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, துரு பிடிக்கிறது. So that is the rusting. So துரு வந்து something is coming and sticking on it அப்படின்னு நினைக்க கூடாது. அது வந்து it is been formed, எப்படி ஃபார்ம் ஆகுதுங்கிறத நம்ம இப்போ படிக்க போறோம், ஓகேவா? So rusting means iron objects. மெயினா என்ன வேணும் நமக்கு? It is an iron object that gets covered with a reddish brown flaky substance. Flakyனா நமக்கு அப்படியே தூள் தூளா போகணும், ஓகேவா? அப்படியே சின்ன சின்னதாக பொடியாக அப்படியே பொடியாட்ட போயிடணும், அதுதான் flaky substance. When their surface gets exposed to air, அப்பனா this surface is getting exposed to air and moisture. We already learned water vapor present in the atmosphere is called moisture. So when the iron objects are exposed to the air and moisture, okay, what is happening? A reddish brown flaky substance is being deposited or being covered. So that is called as rust. So the reddish brown deposit formed on the iron objects is known as rust. So what is rusting? The process of formation of this reddish brown flaky substance on the surface of iron, in the presence of moisture and oxygen is called rusting. In the presence, அதாவது the presence of moisture and oxygen should be there. Okay, this iron will not just get rusted on its own. If you keep iron in a very dry place and with no exposure to air, there will be no rusting. But when the iron objects are exposed to atmosphere, this is happening. So what is happening in this process? The iron will react with the oxygen and will form ferrous oxide or ferric oxide. Okay, ferrous or ferric. Okay, then this ferrous oxide, okay, is the rust. So the rust is the hydrated iron oxide. So there is water molecules also there. So that is why Fe2O3. Okay, ferrous oxide or ferric oxide also. So rusting is a slow, okay, and undesirable chemical change. Rusting will not happen in just a few minutes or 1 hour. It will take long time. So it is a very slow process and it is an undesirable change. Why this is not desirable? Because the rusting will cause a problem for this chains or iron material which is below it. So the rusting is not a desirable change. Okay, because it weakens the strength of the iron objects and make them brittle. Brittle means we have already learned. Brittle means it will be breaking down into pieces. So the iron means why we go for iron? We go for iron for its strength only, because it will be very strong metal. For that reason only we go for iron. But if this rusting is causing this brittleness means breaking down of the metals. So if we are able to break it down, then will we go for iron? No. So to avoid this, we will be doing certain things we will see. So the equation is iron will mix with oxygen and with water. You will be getting hydrated iron oxide. Hydrated iron oxide. This is the formula for the rust. Okay. So this is the formula for the rust. You can do this example or this activity at home. Okay. You can take 3 bottles. Okay. In 3 bottles, one bottle you can pour. First one you can pour tap water. Okay. The second one, tap water is the water which you get in the tap. It can be through corporation water or it can be the bore water, whichever it is. Second one is boiled water. Boiled water. And then you add a drop of oil on the top. Next is anhydrous calcium chloride. This you will not be getting. So you can do these 2 activities. Okay. So one is the ordinary pipe water. The second one is our boiled water, and on the top you put 1 drop of oil. Okay. Then you put the nails, iron nails. Iron nails na aani. வீட்டில் கண்டிப்பாக வீட்டில் எங்கேயாவது ஒரு பக்கம் ஆணி வச்சுருப்பாங்க. ஓகேவா? If you don't have this nails, you can even use common pin, safety pins. ஏதோ ஒரு pin, அதுவும் stainless steel தான். That is also iron objects தான். You can use that. Now you put that and you close it and keep it for 2-3 weeks. After 3-4 weeks, if you open and see, okay, what do you see? The nail in the first test tube. In the first test tube would be rusted. Okay, and the next one will not be rusted. Why na? This oil, the 1 drop of oil which we have put inside that bottle will not allow the water to react with the iron. This will be going and blocking. Whereas in the first condition, iron will react with water and will form the rust. In the second condition, oil which we have put inside will form a barrier between the reaction. So that is why the first one will form the rust, the second one will not be forming the rust. And the last one is also the same thing. This anhydrous calcium chloride, what will this do? Okay, this calcium chloride will absorb the moisture from air. So there will be no moisture content. So this one will not also rust. Okay, so this is an activity to prove rusting will happen only in presence of water and moisture. Now coming to the necessary conditions for rusting. One is oxygen, next one is water. These 2 should be there for rusting. Now we know that these are must. Now we can prevent rusting. How can you prevent rusting? We already saw rusting is undesirable. So we have to surely prevent rusting. How are we going to prevent rusting? Either you cut off the oxygen supply or you don't give the moisture or the water supply. We have to cut both these 2 things. So that is why they are done. So where rusting will damage the bridges or the ships, whichever things which we are building using the iron. So we have to prevent. How are we going to prevent? First one is we are going to do the paint. We are going to do the painting. Painting, no, it will first prevent the metal to come in contact with the atmospheric moisture. That is the moisture present in the air. Okay, then electroplating. Electroplating means on the layer of iron, I am going to give another coat of not paint but of a metal. Okay, the metal which will not react with air. Okay, we will select a metal like that which will not react with air. So the process of coating the iron objects with metals that do not corrode. That do not corrode means which will not rust. It's called electroplating. We use metals like tin, nickel and chromium. Okay, these are all will be coated on the iron. Then we can apply grease or oil, like in the activity which we saw where I put 1 drop of oil inside the test tube. Likewise, we can use grease or oil or lubricant so that the moisture from the air will not attack the iron body. Then the galvanization. So what is here? We are going to do electroplating with zinc. When the zinc is coated, that means it is called galvanization, because zinc is a corrosion resistant metal. This is an important one mark. Zinc is a corrosion resistant material. Okay, so it will prevent rusting. Then alloy formation. Alloy formation means what? We are going to mix 2 or 3 metals. Okay, and then we are going to form an alloy. Alloy is a mixture of metals. Here we are going to mix iron metal with few other metals and come with some alloys which will be which will not get rusted, which are resistant to rusting, like our stainless steel. The utensils which mother uses in our kitchen, all are stainless steel. They will not get rusted because stainless steel is an alloy which is made up of iron and chromium. All these things can be done and it is rust resistant. So it is used in the manufacture of cooking, making the cooking utensils. Okay, now coming to the atmosphere. What is this atmosphere? We have already learned this topic in geography. Okay, before that we will see this. Do you know the iron pillar in Delhi, which is the Qutub Minar, which is built 1600 years ago? It is not yet rusted even till today. There is not even a single area of rusting there. The monument has attracted many scientists and metallurgists from all over the world because of this unique feature. Okay, we know it is an iron pillar, but it has not been rusted. Why? The scientists are all finding out. Okay, now coming to the atmosphere. Here we will be learning the layers of the atmosphere and the specifications for the layers. This you will be learning in geography also. Okay, so what is this atmosphere? The blanket of air. The blanket of air around the earth is called atmosphere. Okay, this will protect the earth from the harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. Okay, because the sun's rays will cause many skin problems. So the atmosphere only is protecting us from all the ultraviolet rays. Then the atmosphere is 480 kilometer thick. That is, if you send a rocket, it has to cross this 480 kilometers to go into the space. Okay, the moment it crosses 480 kilometers, it will be going into the space. Until then, it is inside our atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere. Okay, so when it gets thinner. Okay, this is getting thinner as the altitude or the height increases from the surface of the earth. So as and when you climb or the altitude is increasing, the atmosphere is growing thinner and thinner. Now coming to the troposphere. Troposphere means this is the first layer which is very closest to the earth. It is for 17 kilometers. It is the place where you have the clouds. Okay, next the stratosphere. Stratosphere is the next above troposphere. It is from 17 to 50 kilometers. It is the ozone layer. The ozone layer is the part of this stratosphere. Then you have the mesosphere. Mesosphere. It is from 50 kilometers to 85 kilometers. And here is the where you have this meteors. Meteors means Valnachatram and the Vinkalangal. Adella on the shooting stars. All these are happening in the mesosphere. Okay. Then the thermosphere. Thermosphere is from 85 kilometers to the 500 kilometers. It is the place where the satellites and the International Space Station all are there in the thermosphere. And then the exosphere is above 500 kilometers. The temperature is very, very low in this layer. Okay, so the atmosphere is mainly responsible for maintaining the temperature on earth for the organisms to live and survive. Without the atmosphere, our planet would have been extremely cold. Okay, so it supports the water cycle and it forms the rain. The atmosphere is the only reason for Earth to be a living planet. Okay, so what are all the layers of the atmosphere? We started first with the troposphere, then the stratosphere, then the meso and the thermo. Troposphere is the place, is the very nearest to the earth. It has the clouds. Okay, then it is only to 17 kilometers. Stratosphere is from 17 to 50 kilometers. It is the place where the ozone layer is there. Then coming to the mesosphere, mesosphere is the place where you can see meteors and shooting stars. It is from 50 to 85 kilometers. And from 85 to 500 is the thermosphere, where you can see the satellites and our International Space Station all are here. Above this is the exosphere, or the space where the temperature is very low. Okay, so you should know all this, and these are all the keywords. In the next video, we will be learning about this exercises and the question answers. Okay, children, thank you.